Hey, AfterBuzzers, guess what? The season premiere of Fox's new series, Pitch, starts tonight, and we are breaking down tonight's episode, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Girls, hey. Girls. Woo. Girls. Who run the world? Do we run the world? He's like, no.
Oh.
We do. Hey, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to the very first of what we hope will be a very long-lasting series. Pitch. Fox has officially launched. They're heavily, I've been anticipating for this show. Have you guys been waiting?
Yeah, I was interested to see what this
show's about. Right?
Yeah.
All right, well, before we get into the show, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Janeisha John, and you can find me on all social media at Janeisha_MissVI. We're going to allow our panel to introduce themselves. Go for it.
Hey, I'm Ashleigh Morghan. ASHLEIGHMORGHAN. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. You can find me there.
Hey guys, my name is Sheldon White. You can find me on all social media at Sheldon White 2.
Hi guys, I'm Jessie. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Athletchick. That's ATHLETCHIC. Athletchick.
Nice. Your handle, I think, is perfect for this type of show because
really
we're all about the athletic chicks tonight. And I have to ask, we're gonna go around 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate this show tonight? Who wants to go first?
We'll start on that side.
Yes.
I was looking at you guys. Let's go with you. You're the only guy on the panel.
I'll go in. I'm going to give it a solid, I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with 8.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with an 8 too. I feel like it had a great story, and the ending really threw me off.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued to see what Ginny Baker has to bring to the plate.
Okay.
Pun intended. Pun intended.
Oh,
was a
I
good
see
one.
what you
That
did
was a good
there.
one. See what I did there?
Yeah. Okay.
What about you,
So
Jessie?
funny.
I was thinking an 8 also. I was surprised. I mean, I think it's really good, so I'm going to give it a solid 8 as well.
All right. Well, I feel
Change it up?
very
Change it up,
generous
yeah.
today,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Oh.
Just
perfect.
because we have a new female taking it to the
A
major
female
leagues.
lead show.
She's
young
gorgeous.
female.
Oh,
She
Right.
she's stunning.
She's
she does
hot.
a fabulous job.
Yes.
I mean, her acting is on point.
Yes.
Can you talk about how athletic she was and her body? Like the opening scene, I was like,
She
I
looked
need to find out
good.
who her trainer is because she's just very built. I mean, she was
She
on
is.
other shows, Twisted.
Yeah. You said
And-
she was a little slimmer and Twisted, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Twisted was a couple years ago. She was a little bit younger, but she's gotten really, really in shape for this role, and I think
Yeah.
she's awesome.
She's been training for a while. I mean, they had months of her training 4 or 5 days a week to prepare
saw
for the
that,
role,
yeah.
and
jeez.
I mean, it paid off.
She looks great.
Yeah, she
that's
does.
good.
Yeah. Well, let's jump right into the actual show. Okay, so of course, we see it starts out with Ginny gearing up to go to this to the stadium. Could you imagine what she was feeling?
Oh my
So
gosh.
intense.
Oh my gosh, it was.
It's like to be in the one place you've worked your entire life to be in that moment. I feel like, I mean, she choked, but I think that's like normal, natural.
I mean, granted, the pressure that
can't even
she
imagine.
has on her shoulders right now, ridiculous. So
I mean, everyone in the world was looking at her, and I can't imagine what that must be like. But I mean, I could relate how she was just, I mean, she was focused. She was like not letting any, she was doing her best, at least on the way to the game, to tune everyone out, not pay
Right.
attention to anybody, and just get there and do her job.
yeah,
right.
But I just can't imagine what it must be like to go through that.
Me neither.
it's a lot. Do any of you play sports?
I did. I ran track a long time ago, so that was about it.
Okay. And what about you?
I
Sheldon?
don't really play sports, but my brother is going to play. He's going to play at Michigan State.
Nice.
Yeah, my dad actually works for Michigan State too, and he worked for the Detroit Lions football team for a while. So
Nice.
I've been around sports growing up.
Nice. Okay.
And I played sports also, so
course,
I can't.
Athletchick.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like to have that.
Kind of pressure.
oh
and,
my gosh.
Well, now
That's
even
a
looking
huge
back,
game.
you know,
Yeah.
her dad was gone. So all this time, you're not just
Well,
dealing with that.
we're gonna get to that.
We're jumping.
Let's not jump there yet.
Like all the pressure on her.
There's definitely a lot of pressure. I think one thing that straight off the top, they went straight into this topic, woman empowerment. We saw the little notes from
Ellen
and Clinton.
Yeah. I was like, product placement.
Yeah, product placement, very timely. I like how they kind of slipped in some politics in there too. But it was just nice to see that. They also did a lot of name dropping in this episode.
They did.
People that we know, which I thought was good because it makes it relative to the audience. But again, we see her going to the stadium. A lot of pressure on her shoulders. The signs, all these little girls. Oh my God, I'm next, and I want to be like you. All of this stuff. That's a lot to deal with. But she has a solid team. Let's talk a little bit about the team. Okay. Her manager is Amelia. First, one word I would use to describe her, boss. And if I could throw in the second word, it'd be boss bitch. All right. What did you guys think about Amelia?
I loved her. I thought she was great. I mean, I loved the relationship between those two because Ginny's a badass too. Yeah. So it was like two really strong women, and I just loved the way that they were taking on the world in this episode.
Okay.
I like how she mentioned she left Clooney. Like she had this life that she had, and she was like, "This is my girl, and we're gonna do this together." And she dropped everything else. I thought it was super awesome, and she's got her back. Like she wouldn't let anyone mess with Ginny. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they chose to have a woman manager because she's such a strong female herself, and then she has this even stronger, maternal figure as her manager. Yeah. And I think it's awesome. They have an awesome chemistry. You can tell that she really has Ginny's best interest at heart, and she's there to have her back when everyone else is turned against her. So I think it's awesome.
Not to mention, she's 23 years old.
Yeah,
I know.
So young.
Jeez.
I mean, we don't realize she's not 23, but it's just the idea of a character, making to the major leagues. Now we see young men go to the major leagues all the time at that age, but as a woman, there's just that additional pressure, and it's just like, wow, being 23. And, having all of these little girls look up to you. But then you have, of course, Amelia behind you. And then we also find out about Elliot, who's, he says the cutest little things, though.
He's so funny. He's cracking me up. Oh,
He's
gosh.
so funny.
I think he's very nervous around them. But, very sensitive to her feel. But he talks too much sometimes.
Yeah.
I think he's like the total opposite because they're both kind of reserved and very strict and very straightforward and very about the work. And then here comes Elliot, like, I love girl Jenny.
Yeah.
She's like,
a nice,
stop.
right? It's a nice dynamic
is.
of personalities.
It's
there.
great. He doesn't have that filter to say only what's important. It's like a constant stream just flooding out of his mouth. And it's hilarious.
It's very genuine, though.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's super genuine. Yeah.
Okay, and then what I liked also is when Joe, the driver, got called out to like, hey, who's the most important person you've driven? And Joe's like, she's like, stop. No.
She's like, nope.
No.
Let me tell you who it is right now.
She's right here.
This moment. And it was an
awesome.
important moment, although Michael Jackson's pretty cool, too.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, I was like,
It's like, oh, that's another big one. That's a big one.
I want to touch a little bit more about Michael Jackson a little later when it comes to, of course, her dad. But another huge name they mentioned, and they were drawing a lot of comparisons to, of course, number 42, Jackie Robinson. Such a legend in the game. And the fact that they keep drawing that reference, I thought that was a really big deal. What do you guys think?
I love the comparison. I mean, to think of a woman coming up in the majors is, that probably will never happen. But, so as a female who's grown up playing sports, it is like Jackie Robinson. So I love the comparison. I thought it was great.
Okay, I'm about to just chime into what you said. Do you really think it can never happen?
Yeah.
Just
I
because
don't.
of
I'm all for girl power. I played sports my entire life, all through college, everything. It's
not practical.
the guys are just bigger and stronger and faster.
So kind of what her dad said about
The
biology.
Yeah, and I actually liked what her dad said because what he was trying to say is that you're not going to get him, as a female because of a number of different reasons, but you're going to get him with like your skill.
Yeah.
Like by throwing a pitch that is different from what other people are throwing, you're not going to win with a fastball.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right, and we're talking about this ball in particular. He calls
Strike.
the
Strike ball?
The screwball.
screwball.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, I guess we can jump ahead a little bit. I do like the fact that her father did say, okay, you need to have a special pitch. But we also see how intense her dad is. He is, and this is the reference I was gonna pull up.
Joe Jackson.
You already know Joe Jackson.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
When they said Michael Jackson, I was like,
Oh my gosh,
yes.
that's interesting.
It's interesting because,
Yeah.
my dad, not to make this about my situation, but my dad is very strict as well. And growing up, he would also implement a lot of stuff. And I was like, so I understand where she's coming from. He's not Joe Jackson, right, Pops? If you're watching, not Joe Jackson.
Said it.
But her dad did give me that Joe Jackson feel, just really intense, has her best interests at heart, but pushes her to beyond her limit,
Right. Yeah.
Which...
That's how stars are made. Michael wouldn't be where he was. I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but he was pushed beyond, I'm tired. You have to go beyond that next layer if you want to be considered a star. In her case, if you want to play against men in the major leagues, you have to go that extra mile. You can't stop when you're tired because that's when they're going to get you. Like, oh, we knew you were going to tap out. Oh, we knew you weren't going to be able to do it. Oh, we knew you were going to quit. So you have to have that mentality, like with any sport, you can't stop when you're tired because that's when you're going to start becoming your best. Yeah.
That moment, though, when he hit his son, he was
Oh my
like,
God.
you're going to throw this now. It was like, whoa. But
Okay, nobody expected that.
no one
I
expected
I thought he
that.
was gonna throw her a pitch or something. Then she slapped her.
I
like,
thought he was
boom.
gonna like keep hitting him until she threw the
I'm
ball
glad
right.
she
And I was
just
like,
did
oh
it
my
the
gosh.
first time because
Yeah.
that could have been bad. But well, I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, it could have been worse.
Right.
It's bad.
I guess,
Yeah,
but
it was bad.
I really hope that we get to see more of Willie grown up and how their relationship is because it must be interesting to grow up in a home where the dad is like this and he's working on his daughter and you're the other sibling. Like,
And you're just kind of
you're just-
there. So, not to mention, he did try to have him play ball growing up,
Right.
but he just
Right.
wasn't interesting. So he might feel, somewhat of a feel. It would be interesting to see that.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little comparison to my family too, because my dad, like I said, my brother's going to start playing for Michigan State, so I kind of think I'm going to relate to Willie in certain ways.
So
Because
you're
I was
like,
not a
you got
football
that.
player.
Okay, you kind of
That's why I was like, I'm right there with you, Willie. I got you.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
One thing I will say I like about this episode, and just about the show, is that they give you, all the information, the backstory. They take you back with those flashbacks, and we get
Yes.
to understand a lot more about Ginny and the obstacles she's had to, or the. Basically the challenges, but also the accomplishments she's had going into the major leagues. So I thought it was really key in how they built the story. Without it, it probably would be a lot of pieces missing, and we probably wouldn't understand it.
I hope that they continue that as we go on to further
too.
episodes.
Yeah.
Because it was a very effective way to understand Ginny better and understand the whole world better.
Yeah.
It makes us want to root for her more.
Yes.
Yes.
Just like you see where she
100%.
came from, and you want her to succeed.
Definitely. All right, let's take Ginny into the locker room. Ooh.
Oh my
I
gosh.
kind of wanted to see, you know me. I kind of wanted to see some naked man. I was like, where are the shirts off?
I think most of us, apparently even Blip's wife wanted us to see some naked men. So I'm just saying,
Like I was like peeking around. I'm like, come on, camera, pan.
Listen, she's the same. With the last panel that we did together, she wanted to see
I'm
some
all
naked
about
men.
the men.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
But okay, I was curious to know because I've played softball and usually you train with the team prior to the game. Why is it this is the first time that they're encountering her leading up to the game and this is the first game? So that question kind of
So she came up through the minors. So she was back playing in AAA. So she was playing with a different team, and so they just called her up for this game.
so
And
it's just
so
like
she
come
just
up now.
pops
So
in
she
and
just
does it.
when they
That's how
call
that
you up,
works?
you just come up.
Wow.
And you better be ready.
And you don't even get to
And
do
you
like
could be there for the rest of your career. You could be there for a game and get sent back down. Or
Do people get called up though and start? Is that common?
yeah, I mean, it's not, is it common? I don't know how common it is, but yeah, I mean, it does happen. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we see her come into that room and just the intensity of the players
Yeah.
and just like, okay, this girl's here.
Right.
She's really here.
This just got real. This just got real.
They were hating. Some of them were hating. Well,
Oh,
most
yeah.
of them were hating.
I kind of
yeah.
want to know what happened with her and Blip though. Like,
Oh, we gonna talk about that. But speaking of Blip, Blip was really excited to see her, and you see straight off top that they do have a genuine love and I guess a history with each other, which I thought was awesome. You can imagine going to a room and not knowing anyone and just fending for yourself as the only female. Her having Blip, I think, gave her a slight encouragement in the beginning, so that was awesome.
She needs Blip. I mean, she needed Blip in that moment, especially the coach. Even from the beginning was like, "This is a distraction." That's how the coach even presented it. And then he was nicer to her. Yeah. But he said this is a distraction. So Blip is key to her just making it through this, I think.
And what do you guys think about the coach?
I don't necessarily. I mean,
you don't like Coach? I know that's
I
coming.
feel like he has the team's best interest in mind, and I feel like he has a very old way of thinking, which may be a downfall for the team. Which I think if you do have this woman, you think about how you're going to go forward, not like, oh well, here it goes. That's not that's a negative attitude to give to your teammates, because now they're going to reflect that on this new player who's supposed to be helping you out.
Right.
Sure. That's my thought.
Your thoughts?
I think it's also interesting how he's getting. He does have the team's best interest at heart, but he also has the president sitting here saying, no, this is how it's happening. And it must be really interesting to try to worm your way through that, especially like you said. I think he's used to doing it a certain way. He has an older way of thinking, and he's just looking. I think he's just looking for a win. He just wants to win. He wants his team to win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about him. I don't know how I feel about him, but I think that he is. This is what a manager would do in this situation. I think this is how he would act.
It's very realistic.
Yeah.
I agree. I think, naturally off top, this is just, he kind of feels like he doesn't have control of the team at this point, because the president now, who has his $700 million receipt,
he's
so
funny.
Talk about drop my moment.
He's so funny. I know
Hilarious.
He's like flashy about his money and does
So
not care.
funny.
Does not expensive scotch. He
my private plane.
But I will say that the coach did feel like he probably didn't have as much power. This is my ball. This is my ball club. But he was like, no, this is my ball club. This is what the president says. And so at that point he's like, okay, so well, what power do I have? But I think I did see him open up to the idea for when she did, prove herself later on in the game. It's like he was like, all right, I still have some kind of control here. I'm taking you out because we're gonna need you around for the long run. So it's like, all right, I see you, girl. I think that's what he gave us. Slapped your ass.
Yeah.
That too.
Good job, Rookie. He said good job, Rookie. Or Rook, maybe.
Rook,
but yeah.
Rook. Yeah. Speaking of slapping asses, I like Mike Lawson.
I do too. Like, he's like that big brother that really annoys you, but you're just like, what would I do without your crazy self?
So disgusting. What do you guys think about Mike?
I like.
Zach Morris.
Go for it.
I was gonna say I like him. I think he needed a little. He needed some direction, I guess, for him to shine. But I do like him, and
Yeah, at first I was like, this guy's an asshole, but he, the way that she, I guess, started with him, I felt like he would have totally taken advantage of her and just been nasty to her. But the way she came off, and
real quick.
Exactly, and so. He came around. Okay. So I like him now. At the beginning, I wasn't so sure. But...
It took a minute, but he was also like, I'm going to treat you like I treat everybody else.
Yeah.
You are a
which
teammate.
Rightfully
You're
so.
a teammate.
Right.
Yeah, which I liked. Really liked.
Right.
I just see him as like the class clown type vibe. He's just like the one who's always up to something, always doing something crazy. And the ladies apparently love him too. So I'm curious to see. I think he's gonna have such a key role in this entire series. I love their dynamic. I love their relationship going so far. Also with Blip too. So I think those three are gonna have a lot to say in this series. So I'm curious to see where that goes. We missed a little bit on Oscar. What do you guys think about him? Team manager.
He has a thing for Amelia.
Amelia.
Oh yeah, he does.
She shut that down so quick though.
She did, but then she was like checking up on him, and he's like, "How do you know that I'm married? Was he married? Is that what happened?"
Yeah.
He's separated.
And then
he's like, "Aren't you married?"
And then he called her out, and then I was like, "Okay." Yeah.
She's like, "I think she's playing hard to get."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows
she should. She knows she's got it going on. He has to put in some work, and he's separated, so he really has to put in some work. All right. Okay. We touched a little bit on most of the cast. Let's talk about this game. All this pressure. She's getting geared up for the game. She's she stunk. Like she's something smelly.
Embarrassing.
Cringing inside.
I know.
I really like how they started changing the way they filmed it at times, and it looked like we were watching an actual game as opposed to watching a TV show, and I thought it was very effective, and that made me nervous and made me cringe more when she was not doing her best or good at all, really.
I think the media was so harsh on her. Yeah. Like, with the exception, I think, of one of the, I guess, TV personality journalists. Everyone else just had so much negative things to say. Like, they wanted her to lose right off top, you know. But then she kind of just showed them that she wasn't ready at first. You know, 10 strikes. I mean, 10 pitches. None of them actually even came close.
Yeah, she like walked the first batter, and then she threw a wild pitch, and he ended up on third base, and eventually she threw another wild pitch and he came home. It's just totally embarrassing start. Probably something that I would do on my first start. Yeah. So I can't blame her. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole world was watching her at that moment.
What did she call herself? A national laughing stock. No, she said
the national laughing stock.
Yes. It's tough, you know?
Actually, that was interesting when she was talking about that, because the guys were in the bar and Blip was talking about something totally different during that. He was like, this is your legacy. And he's saying that to Lawson. And then she's laying on the floor saying, I am the national laughing stock. So I thought that was interesting.
I agree with you. I think we get to see the girls talk and the guys talk, and just kind of like, you know, different perspectives. Her perspective of herself, like what she thinks she is at this moment, the laughing stock. You know, she's doubting herself. She's going through all these emotions, whereas other people are seeing it as like, girl, you are it.
Yeah.
You know, like
all you have to do is believe in yourself.
This is history in the making. Like, you are it. And so, we got a friend in the studio that's gonna fly. But no, I thought it was interesting. Since we're already talking about it, let's jump to that. Of course, Blip's wife. I think her name is Evelyn.
Yeah.
Evelyn. Yes.
I like her.
When she was strutting down the hall, I was like, "Work it, girl!
I know.
You got
I love her.
She knew exactly what she needed to do.
Well, I thought she was gonna like come up and be super jealous of their relationship. So when she came to the game and was so happy to see Ginny, I was so happy. Like, I love her.
Well, it's clear that they have, you know, a good history.
Yes.
It's also clear that Evelyn's very secure in her relationship with her husband.
Yes.
And you see that Blip is very much so the family man, talking about like little black boys who like sushi.
That
like,
was cute. That was fun.
That was really cute.
Even in the bar, like when the women came up, he had no interest in
Yeah.
taking a picture.
Yeah.
So,
but I do see some trouble with that. We're gonna talk about that. That's prediction-ish.
Oh, yeah.
That's prediction-ish.
Yes,
We'll talk about that.
I don't think. But we'll get there.
That's prediction-ish. We'll wait on that. But I do think it was a really great move. You know, again, going with this whole woman empowerment theme, to have Evelyn step up to the plate, like, girl, I need a girls' night. I'm coming over, and I need you, but you need me, because I do this for my husband, and I know what he goes through, so I understand what you're going through right now, and I'm here for you. I thought that was such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So kudos to
It's
Evelyn.
nice to
We
see
like
her.
Evelyn.
I love Evelyn.
Women, it's nice to see women be uplifting.
Yeah.
It is.
So often we see them like,
Bash
oh,
each
you're
other.
friends with my man, but it's nice to be like, hey, you need to chill out. We're gonna have some Bloody Marys and just let everything go.
And at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
Exactly.
We're all in this together.
You win, I win. I mean, you win, we win. And so, even like you said, the legacy that Blip was talking about, that it's so true, and it's such a key moment in the show tonight. So, let's talk a little more about the game. So we see now that the coach is trying to get rid of Ginny. He's over it.
Knock
He's
her
like,
down.
she was terrible the first time. Oh, she gave up. That was a really, really big
my
moment.
gosh.
That was a red flag. I was like, if they take you out, that's one thing, but if you just quit,
Take me out the game. Take me out the game. Yeah.
In the first inning.
yeah.
Like 10 pitches and you give up?
Yep.
That's way too soon. But you can also see that she was just nervous and just freaking out. Like she looked like she was about to hyperventilate.
Oh, I know. I know. I thought she was having like a panic attack.
Yeah.
And I was
That's what
like,
I thought.
that's embarrassing.
Kylie Bunbury is fantastic. I mean, watching her through those moments, I mean, I just think she's such an amazing actress. Nothing's ever pushed, nothing's ever forced. You are right there with her, and you are feeling like what she's feeling with her. She's amazing.
I agree.
I agree. and she has like a presence. She's very intense. She focuses
There are a lot
on
of close-ups on her face.
Yeah.
This is a picture,
flawless, flawless face, and
Yeah,
that.
they do
They
that.
look to your
Oh,
face.
yeah.
Like even if you watch like games, like it's always right there on their face. So it's for her, I know it's probably hard to make sure that she is not pushing it, that it's all natural, so you feel for this character. Like this is her first time pitching in the major leagues. It's all she ever wanted. It's all she worked with her dad for. Her dad can't even be here, and here you are, and it's like you're messing up.
Yeah.
Like you're completely throwing the game, and everything everybody said about you, now they have a reason to talk about you, and it's like I can't imagine that pressure. And it's like you want to be good, you want to prove them wrong, and then you get your opportunity and you're just
choking.
Choking.
Well, okay, so she gives up. And we see her for a period throughout the episode, sort of just going through that that motion where she's just giving up. I'm like, she's not ready. She's a laughing stock. She's over it. Of course, Evelyn comes in, peps her up. And then we also see that Mike steps up to the plate, too, after speaking with Blip. Which is so key. I think that made me like him so much more. Yeah, so the second game, she starts out terribly, but she picks it up, and she starts whooping some butt. So
his speech was so funny.
It was
when he was like, I didn't even plan that. Like,
Yeah.
you know how
it was
good that
everything.
was?
He said, you can wait.
Do it for you.
Yeah, he said, do it for you. Wait.
You were a ball
Let's
player.
Let's go.
not a Girl Scout.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I used to be a Girl Scout. There's nothing wrong with being a Girl Scout.
Exactly. He said, aim your pitches, aim to please, and then it was like, mic drop.
So good. So
That's
funny
true.
too.
I think in anything that when you're trying to achieve anything, you're always trying to please everybody. You're always trying to make everyone happy, that you forget that this is for you.
And at 23, that's a lot to take
Oh my
on.
God.
Yeah,
Gosh,
sure.
I know.
I'm still trying to figure
Me
all
too.
that stuff out.
But then we also see why. Her dad, super intense, all of the training, everything that she's done up until that moment. And after the first game, we see that, her dad comes, tell her, get your glove, let's go.
He's like, are you done? After she freaks out.
But that's interesting too, everything she said, why did you do this to me? I have no friends. I have
a
no
robot.
No
Robots.
interest. She's, I'm a robot in cleats. I'm malfunctioning right now.
And I was like, that's interesting. I wonder how many people who grow up, everything, all they do is one sport or one thing. Like, is that how they feel? I have no outside life. This is all I have. So then if I fail, I have nothing.
Then what do you have?
Exactly. That's that additional pressure.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna jump a little bit to the fact that her dad is not really around, and we see that plot twist at the end of the episode, basically, because throughout they do all these flashbacks, which I think now I understand why we're doing all these flashbacks. That's not really there.
I know.
It was interesting because throughout the entire episode, you never saw her dad in the present time interacting with anybody else. That's what I thought was weird. Like, as people were cheering in the stands, no one was the people next to him, no one ever looked at him.
But at the same time, I just figured it was his personality, because he just seems like the type.
But usually they say, your parents were in the stands. They never said that. Usually in games, like your parents
they make
are.
the
But her mom,
announcement.
but her mom was there though. Was that
her mom?
I'm assuming that was her mom.
Yeah, I was assuming that too. I
assumed
don't
that
know
too.
for sure though.
But now I'm like,
You're not sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's not there either. Like,
Maybe it's just Willie. Like, where is Willie?
where is Willie? Where is Willie?
Hashtag that.
hashtag where's Willie?
No, I mean, maybe that'll be something that we can focus on for the next episode. But I assume that was her mom. I thought maybe the brother was just somewhere else.
Hashtag where's Willie?
Where's Willie? Yeah. And then I just thought the dad just doesn't talk to anyone because he's so into the game. He's so focused and he's just like no nonsense. And we see that he's no nonsense throughout the entire episode, right?
Yeah.
So when she says, Dad, we did it, and he's always like, we ain't done nothing yet. Like, there's more. There's more. We have so much more to accomplish. And I like that he's a go-getter, but dang, Dad, can we get some?
Can we celebrate?
I know.
Celebrate a little bit?
He wouldn't celebrate at all. It was like his catchphrase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Jeez.
We have a friend in the studio.
I think
Cassie.
I think one thing was
That's
interesting.
Willie, by the way.
But that is where Willie is.
He's here in Fly Spirit. I think it was interesting that, her father passed right after she found out that she was going to this team.
To the minors.
And
That's
she's like,
what
really,
I'm
Dad?
struggling with. Probably the same thing you're going to say, but like, she says we did it, and he looks at her, and he pauses, and he's smiling, and it's
He
just
never
like,
says,
But
stop.
he didn't say we ain't.
Maybe he didn't have the chance to say it.
see,
Right.
I think that he was going to say something different than he normally says. Like, we made it finally. And so for that to happen, I was just like, oh my gosh, now she's kind of like,
never gonna feel like she lived up to his expectations.
Yeah, and it's kind of like no closure there, right? Because she was waiting for him to say it.
Yeah.
And then
he probably would have said it though. I mean, if you think it had been longer, he would have said, like, you haven't pitched yet. Like, get up there and do the job, and then we'll talk.
Exactly.
Like, that's his style.
Break records,
right?
Hall
then
of
we'll
Fame.
talk.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
Jeez.
it's just interesting because again, we see her dad push her beyond her limit, and I think that's awesome. Honestly,
I do too.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him not treat her like she's not strong enough or not capable of.
You can do this. It's
Yeah,
like, girl,
like, get back out there.
Yeah.
Again. He's like, again.
She needed
again.
it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Gosh, that scene was hard. I don't know.
It
just
was.
it's hard to find out that
Because she was there. She was right next to him.
she was
know.
I
fine.
wonder when that happened in comparison to when the game started. Like,
Well, I'm gonna assume
What was the time lapse?
was she in college or high
I
school?
can't remember if she was in college or high school. She said they won the state championship, right?
I'm gonna
Probably
assume that's
college.
high school.
I think it's
Yeah.
in college. Because then she got recruited right after that game.
But you can also get recruited straight out of high school.
Right.
Right?
True.
Yeah.
Usually when you have state championships, it's in that high school.
Then
Yeah.
You think it was a long break from? She's 23 now.
right.
Right.
It's a long gap.
That
Well,
is a
she
long
said
gap.
she played in the minors
For
and
five-
for
Oh,
5
5
years.
5 years.
So that would take
That
her.
would
That would be
make
from
sense.
like
That would be
18 to
from high
23.
school. Yeah.
To 23.
So if
So
she
she's-
played the
Because that wasn't the minors yet. So that's when she got. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That's when she got.
Willie.
I know, Willie. Get out of here.
Bye, Willie. Go take a seat.
That's when she got. I know. I'm gonna kill Willie
Okay,
pretty
we got
soon. Like
this.
literally.
We're just gonna let it go. We got it. That's when what?
That's when she got word that she was going to the minors.
Yeah.
So she's
So it was
probably
them.
18. I
Yeah,
guess.
she's a baby. Well, okay. Well, either way, she's obviously had her training going, and she uses her dad in, mentally. That's her coach
Yeah.
in her head. She sees him, obviously it's not like a crazy type of see. It's just her way of coping with the situation.
Right.
Right.
Bye. And she's kicking butt the second game. We see that she gets her respect at the end of that second
Gets her
game.
respect.
Yeah.
What a great moment.
It was an
know.
awesome moment. Yeah. And she walks off. And honestly, for a split second, I said, okay, so they're ending the episode like this. I was like, no cliffhanger. This is it. It felt a little too good to end that way.
Right.
Right.
Especially
Yeah.
if this is going to be an ongoing series. And so we step right back into the locker room, and we see a little bit of twist.
Oh yeah.
Yes. What's his name? Turner is
Tommy. It's Tommy.
Is it
Yeah, Tommy.
I
Yeah.
think it's Tommy. The
I think it
picture.
is
Yeah,
Tommy.
no, it's
Yeah,
Tommy.
Tommy.
And I have here Tommy in all in caps. Hater.
Yeah.
Sure.
A-T.
What did he say? He was like, "You're about to become
He's
an
so
answer to a
jealous.
trivia question."
He is so,
so
jealous.
jealous
He's
that
like
she-
afraid she's gonna take his spot in the
And everyone
order.
keeps joking like you should have stepped up.
Yeah.
You should have.
But still, give props where props. You give jackets jacket. Okay,
Exactly.
give props where props are due. She did her thing. First
Yeah.
game, I get it. You could say, "Girl, you were terrible the first game," because Amelia said
Yeah.
it. Today was a bad day. It was
Right.
terrible.
Fact.
Fact, exactly. But when someone does what they're supposed to do, show some love. The coach did it. You can't stop being a hater for a second to be like, girl, you did it. All right,
Sure.
cool.
Nope.
But he comes and he says, what did he say? He says, everyone's gonna learn about your pitch. Your
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. They're gonna
Figure out
figure
your
it out.
screwball.
Yeah.
and then
it's
you're
over.
Then you're done.
You're gone. You're
Yeah.
yeah. Ooh, I don't know. I don't like Tommy.
I don't like Tommy.
I mean, he represents all the people who are haters
Yeah.
for a woman doing it.
Right.
So it's good that we
Tommy
don't
is the
like him.
representation of all the haters.
Right.
Yeah.
We also hear Tommy blurt out.
Although-
What did he say? He said, "If I didn't know about it, I would say you tapped that ass."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
But the way that he flipped, blip flipped. I feel like part of me was like, is he defending?
But it could have been.
It could be a
been a
Or
brotherly
or
sister
is there
type
truth to
thing.
that?
Absolutely.
I think there might be a truth to that.
I know
hope
that's
that
what
there's
I'm
not
wondering.
truth.
I hope there's not because I like Evelyn,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering if there is because
It's
of his
gonna come out.
reaction. Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, we're gonna get into that in predictions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, but that was a very interesting moment. I also think that geared us up for the next episode.
Yes.
It was like, okay, now we got some juice, you know? Because I am a little nervous, and this is just us being completely honest. This is a great show. I liked it. I really liked the first episode. The pilot was great. I am curious to see how they're going to extend it for the entire series. Because how many episodes are there?
I thought I read 22. I think you
Okay,
said 10.
I thought I read 10. I might be wrong.
At least 10.
Still, that's a lot to get a storyline going. So I'm curious to see where the storyline is going to go.
For sure.
You know, what kind of obstacles she's going to face.
Because they jumped right in. They could have started beforehand with her
backstory.
hearing the news and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
They jumped right into the big moment. Really,
Right, that's
started,
true.
which is huge.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you know, for the pilot, they have to
gotta
bring it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we expected that, but I'm just curious to see how they're going to stretch this out.
Yeah, do you think it's going to be strictly baseball, or do you think we'll see part of her personal life and her life with these guys outside of it?
I think so. I think I've seen, you know, headlines throughout leading up to this show because there's been such a buzz about it,
Right.
and they're saying it's so much more than just baseball.
Oh, good.
So I think we're gonna get to see, and she's young. She's 23. This is when people are like, you know,
Partying
starting
like
to fire
I know.
up.
And then is she going to be like the guys are? Like the guys are out at the bar and everybody's coming. Is she going to like
She's a hottie.
be out?
I
She
see
is.
trouble.
And our guys
I
going to be
see
like
trouble,
chasing
too.
her around?
I see trouble. I do.
I never thought about it like that because there aren't girls playing in or women playing in professional sports. I mean, outside of the WNBA, but
Yeah.
I wonder what it would be like for a girl to make it and then what kind of attention she gets.
Right. And even in the WNBA, they're all women. You know,
Right.
it's not a woman
Right.
on the NBA.
Right. Exactly.
Which I know they've even talked about that before, like how it'd be nice, but again, biology, a woman can't keep up with a man in
Right.
basketball or football or. I would like to see someone play baseball. I
oh
think
my gosh.
baseball would be the best sport to see a woman compete in because it's kind of not as
It's not as physical, yeah.
and it's more about skill and
Okay,
athleticism.
so then let's touch a little bit on like a few fun facts that I found online.
Fun facts.
So, of course, we know that in the Little League series, Monet Davis, you know,
Oh my gosh, I know. I love her.
love her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she also had her moment in history where, you know, she got to pitch for the Little Leagues. The first African-American female, you know, to do that. And so, which, by the way, you know, I'm kind of throwing out some news and gossip. Is basically, I think she's being courted for a role on pitch. So hopefully we'll see her later
Oh my
on.
gosh, I
Yeah.
hope we do. That would be amazing.
Awesome.
Yes.
That would be awesome. But basically, I saw somewhere that this show originally was supposed to be was envisioned as a feature film.
Okay.
And
that makes
so
Could see it.
the focus was to try and like credit strides in like women's athletic programs and like recent success stories like Monet Davis. And also there's a woman, a French teen shortstop. I think her name is Melissa Mayo. I could be saying that wrong. She recently became the first woman to be added to the MLB international registration list, making it possible for her to be picked up by a team.
Wow.
If it could happen, if it will happen, we don't know. But just the possibility is a big deal. I
That's
think.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
did not even hear about that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I stumbled upon that.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, that's crazy. That's, you know.
yeah.
That's the show.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to ask. Is this show based off of?
It's not.
it's
not
okay.
a true story.
Fiction?
It is fiction.
Well, I know it's not a true story, but I didn't know if they went off, you know, something like Monet Davis. If they had.
I think
Some
Monet Davis
inspiration.
was a
Yeah.
sort of inspiration
Yeah.
for the film. I mean, for the series. And so I think that, you know, they, of course, they're building on it. They also did build on the Jackie Robinson story, you know,
Right.
the fact that he went through similar tribulations when he got into the major leagues as the first African American. And so now we see this dynamic in politics. So, you know, we see a lot of changes in the
Yeah.
world where women are kind of stepping up to the plate in different areas. And so I just think it's timely. It's all about what's going on right now in the
I
world.
love it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so why not go with it? It's a great
Yeah.
story to tell. So.
It is.
I agree.
Yeah, and another few stories that we see, or topics that we see in this, is the underdog story, because she's definitely the underdog in this, and also that father and daughter relationship dynamic. We see that,
Oh my gosh, I love that.
and then of course women's empowerment. So yeah, really.
Empowerment.
Go, girl.
Get
Girl
it.
power.
Get it, girls. Get
Around
it.
the world.
Girls. And you do too. Because you're on this title with us.
It's
You're
okay.
amazing.
It's okay, guys.
You support it, so you run it too.
I do support.
All right. So did we miss on anything?
Yeah.
What did we didn't touch on? Oh, Big Al is about to get the.
Oh yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me sad because I feel like.
You think he was open to the growth of the?
I mean, I agree that I think he's old school in his way of thinking.
Right.
But I feel like he may have. I don't know. I feel like I'm 50-50. He may have had a change of heart, but then again, that's what he's used to what he's used to.
Right.
And
He's also just about the result, and I think if she can continue to prove herself like
that's
she did
true.
at that moment, he will be on board.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
true.
Like when she left, he smacked her on the ass.
Which was so funny.
It was hilarious.
She doesn't like that.
But I felt like that was like you're part of the team.
His
Good job.
initiation,
Good
right?
job. See you later.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know how I feel about him yet, but I agree with you. I think that he's all about the results. If she's gonna do good and prove herself, then he's up for it.
I agree. I do think though that I don't think Oscar's ready to let him go.
No,
And so the
definitely
president's
not.
like, you gotta get me a short list.
Short list.
Yeah.
I don't think Oscar's up for it. I think he might fight for him. Well,
Yeah.
I hope he does a little bit. Because I'm curious to see, him soften up to her and the
Oh, me
idea of a
too.
female being, the pitcher. I think he's open to it. So
Yeah.
Me too.
hopefully Oscar puts up a fight for him. Did we miss anything else? I think we touched on it on most of the things. Because if not, we are gonna go into some predictions.
We're good. I think we did it.
Yeah.
I think the last thing,
Wait.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, here we go. We're in.
It's okay.
We're in it
We'll
now.
go into the.
Okay. She's hyping us up. This is not some like alien music.
right.
It's like, okay. Ashley, go ahead quick before we get
Oh
into
yeah,
predictions.
my favorite quote I think in the whole show was "Welcome to the big leagues. We've been waiting for you." That was so powerful.
It was a powerful
That's
moment,
awesome.
That's all.
Yeah.
There were a lot of key
Powerful
quotes and
Inspiration.
signs and
Yeah.
just little things that stuck out to you. Of course we see Amelia, not Amelia, sorry, Ginny. See those signs and that impact, and they're just etched in her brain. So, I think it was a great first show.
It's a great
It
pilot.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get
Let's
into
do it.
predictions, guys.
Yes.
Who's going first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I have a lot. Okay, so actually, my first one, Ginny and Mike. I'm not sure what their relationship is going to be.
Uh-huh.
He's either going to be a father figure or
They gonna smash?
something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's my first one. I think that Ginny and Blip had a history that is going to come up in the show that's going to cause controversy between her and Evelyn.
Okay.
And I think that is all I have. Oh,
Okay.
Amelia and Al. It's just
Oh,
getting
that's
better.
gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Better.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tommy, the usual pitcher, is going to get himself into some trouble, and I think I have a feeling he might get kicked off the team.
I'm
I
with
think
that.
it's
Bye,
gonna-
Tommy.
yeah,
Or
suspended
yeah.
or something?
Something big is going to happen to him because he's going to keep acting a fool, and eventually it's going to catch up to him.
Or he's gonna get beat up by Ginny.
Something.
Oh, that
By
would be
Ginny,
awesome.
I'm
exactly.
serious.
Yeah.
They're gonna be out, and she's gonna be like, "Boop."
Yeah.
And then my other thing I'm excited to see is Willie's relationship with Ginny, because I think Willie's still around, and I think there
You're
was a
Team Willie.
reason.
I love it.
I'm Team Willie. I think there's
relates to
a
him.
reason that I think there might be a reason he wasn't at the game.
Okay.
I think there might be some weird family
Backstory.
history that
Yeah.
we're going to dive into.
That's awesome. Great prediction.
So, I mean, same things you guys said. I think there's going to be a relationship, an interesting relationship between Lawson and Ginny. I don't know what to think about that. I hope nothing happens with Evelyn because I love her.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what to think about the comment with Blip. I'm thinking that there might be some history and some truth to that. So
It was made for a reason.
And I guess, yeah. I mean, other than that, I'm just interested to see how the world is going to take a woman being in the league for more than just a game, and see how the reporters treat her and how her teammates treat her, and if she continues to be a distraction. Because I do think, if there are locker room fights happening because of her, then that can't be the best thing for the team. So I'm interested to see how this goes.
That's interesting you brought that up because, we've been thinking about the player, but the most important thing is the team, and overall how this is going to affect the team. To piggyback off of what everyone's saying, definitely Blip and Ginny smash. They did that. But, I think it was, probably one night something happened and, it just escalated
Things
to that.
got to
And, it is what it is. Whether or not it was during a time where Evelyn was in the picture, that would be a twist in the story. I do see some controversy between her and Evelyn, but I think they, at the end of the day, they'll kiss and make up. I also see in terms of relationships and mingling and hooking up, I see Oscar and Amelia definitely hooking up. That's a must happen. And I just think overall we're gonna get to see Ginny go through so many different ordeals, on her way to being this legend in the game, or continuing to make history as the first female in the major leagues. And I'm just excited to be on this ride. So
it's gonna be great.
Let's do it. I'm excited. I think this was a great way to start the season. I'm just curious to see where it's gonna go. All right, guys. So I think this brings us to the end of our first after show for Pitch. You guys have to tune in with us each and every week. You can find me on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI. And where can they find you guys?
Ashleigh Morghan, ASHLEIGH MORGHAN.
Sheldon White 2.
At Athletic, ATHLETCHIC.
All right, guys. So until next week.
Bye, guys. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.